Alright, let's talk about Metal Gear Solid the movie. Details and info on the director, his relationship with Hideo Kojima, and hopefully the breaking of the curse of video game movies. Are you ready for this? The director, Jordan Vogt Roberts, if that's how you pronounce his name. Who is he?
I don't know, I never really met the guy. It's not like he called me up and said, hey, I'm gonna offer you the role of Solid Snake. Hell yeah! Just kidding, that didn't really happen.
But he directed Kong Skull Island, which I guess was pretty good. At least Rotten Tomatoes think so. Anyways, in a recent interview with Den of Geek, here's what Jordan Vogt Roberts said. Here's what Metal Gear needs to be, and here's the version I want to make. And if you don't want to make this version, then I'm not your guy. Even though I spent 3 years of my life trying to shepherd this project, and there's no project more important on the planet to me than this.
Wow, when was the last time anybody said that and meant it? In Hollywood, literally every day. But I think this guy actually does mean it, which is awesome because we do need somebody with such passion and heart for the original content to be part of developing this huge, massive potential franchise of a movie.
There have been a lot of bad video game movies out there. So bad that people are beginning to believe video games will never be translated over as good movies. It's hard to have hope in anyone doing justice to a video game storyline. Look at Assassin's Creed. I mean, the shots and action sequences looked amazing, but it boasted a lot of visual effects and sequences without holding true to its core center of mystery and grounded conspiracy based off history, which made the games awesome. There are a lot of video game movies out there that have missed the mark, becoming parodies of the video game genre, but there are a couple that have held our hopes for entertaining and good content, like Mortal Kombat Legacy, and the new Tomb Raider starring Alicia Vikander. But here's the thing. Metal Gear Solid doesn't have the easiest story to follow. It has one of the longest and most convoluted stories of any video game ever made. I mean, I'm a fan and I still can't name all the characters, the plots, subplots, weapons, organizations, twists, turns, more twists, and the occasional bombshells. Which leads one to think, would this be better as a series? If they stick to the storyline, then I think it would work as a series. A series would give the narrative a similar runtime that the games have, maybe even allow us to explore more into the characters' personal lives and the relationships beyond the action aspect of the game.
I'm not saying I'm not a fan of action. I love action. That's why I started playing the games and got involved with films in the first place.
But we have suffered too many iconic films and characters being destroyed by nothing but fast cutting and explosions without exploring the dilemmas and conflicts within each character's life and the obstacles they face. Isn't that why we go to the movies in the first place? To be empowered, to live vicariously through the characters up on that screen, to be awoken spiritually, to realize something we didn't know about ourselves before? But back to Metal Gear. A full-length feature film would be amazing and I would prefer it. The creator of the Metal Gear series, Hideo Kojima, wanted to be a movie director back in the 80s when he started the franchise, but he figured out that making a video game of his idea would give him a different palette to paint his vision on, thus birthing one of the first and greatest cinematic games in the history of video games, setting a trend which became the norm for action-adventure games to this day. For instance, the Uncharted series and The Last of Us are both solid video games with captivating characters, events, and storylines. He showed the world that video games weren't just for kids. They, like animation and movies, could be made for all ages and tackle deep realistic themes, with a stretch from reality every now and then. But isn't that the point of entertainment? The director and the creator. From social media posts, interviews, and photos taken by the duo, it appears that Jordan Vogt Roberts and Hideo Kojima get along and are on the same page regarding the conception of a possible feature film for the Metal Gear series. This gives hope that the movie will reflect the style, story, characters, and intentions within the games. By understanding each of these concepts, the odds of a Metal Gear movie breaking the curse of video game movies could very well be broken, and the reason is understanding the base material. Example: Kevin Smith has frequently voiced his experiences on working with studios and how there is a miscommunication between the original comic book creators and the producers of the studios. Their producers are without intention detached from the comics, storylines, and fans themselves. Smith stated that the tentative producer of the Superman movie he was writing back in the 90s for Warner Brothers did not know who Kal-El was, nor the planet of Krypton. Yeah, the producer didn't know the name of the main character. And if you don't believe me, Listen to this.
So I'm reading the first few pages when he's on Krypton when he's a baby, because I have to redo the origin. And it's Kal-El this, Kal-El that, blah, 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 blah. He's like, wait a second. Who the fuck is Kal-El? And I was like, Kal-El is Superman. He's going, all right, why? And I was like, that's his Kryptonian name? He goes, I'm like, Krypton's where he's from? He's like, right, fucking planet, boom. All right.
Nice job, Hollywood. I just hope that Jordan Vogt-Roberts isn't just saying what we all want to hear. It's amazing how long we have been enduring all these mediocre and half-baked studio films. It wasn't until I began writing my first feature-length movie that I realized a possible reason as to why that may be. Most movies that are at the beginning of a franchise start off from an honest intention of making a good movie. These scripts may take years to complete, with multiple writers coming in to help make them better along the way. But once that movie is made and is a hit, the studio wants another to capitalize on that success, so they demand a sequel with a deadline that immediately limits the creative cultivation of a new story. I could talk about this for hours, but let's wrap this up talking about Metal Gear and Snake. Snake is probably the most badass character that's not from a Quentin Tarantino film or Indiana Jones. Jordan and whoever he brings on his team have a lot to work with regarding Snake, his past, his demons, and his relationships to other characters, not to mention the political and economic memes that reoccur throughout the series. It sounds like Jordan respects and worships Hideo, which is a good sign, but does that mean he will keep the Japanese-like humor, violence, and sexuality that was portrayed in the games? Or will Jordan be forced to westernize the movie, which we've seen studios do to other franchises? I believe that a film version of Metal Gear Solid should incorporate the essential aspects of the series that invoked grittiness, innovative gameplay, mystery, real-life politics, and thrilling action sequences. There were some pretty amazing moments throughout the franchise that would kill on screen. I just hope that when it comes to the effects, they go light on the CGI and invest in new age model building, set design, and animatronics. I know I'm not alone when I say I can't wait for this movie, and I've been looking forward to it since I first played Metal Gear Solid 1. I think we will be pleasantly surprised with the final result. The director even stated that he may create a new story for the feature film, which might be a good idea, since it would give us something new and fresh to enjoy, keeping the franchise up to date, leaving the curse of video game movies behind.
As I embark on making a Metal Gear Solid movie, what would you say to me? It's like, oh boy.
まあ僕と同じように皆さんの期待を裏切れと。
Do the same thing as me, betray your audience.
There we go.